All right, so this is going to be an upper body workout with a little more of a chest focus. So it's going to be chest, back, and you're going to see some arms with a little bit of shoulders kind of thrown in there. And as always, I'll put the routine that I follow down below. It's always helpful if you guys like and subscribe, share this video, and also hit the notification bell. That way you guys are staying updated to all the workouts that I'm kind of posted. I know you guys like these workouts. Actually, in the near future, when this video gets posted, I'm going to try and start putting files, like a playlist, so you guys can kind of jump to upper body workouts, lower body workouts. If I have to kind of segment it with dumbbells and decipher which workouts are more specific to the equipment I'm using, I'll do that down below. Right now, I just kind of see me do a basic warm-up. And what I really wanted to do with this particular workout was just make it a really straightforward, easy workout. And I think these are really the best things. I think someone asked me in a recent post, basically, do I use this? Did I use this to gain all my muscle? And again, I like the comment, but I would say, I think he was inferring that can you get muscle again just using this? I think you definitely can. And I just wanted to kind of make some workouts just showcasing the fact that you literally could just use this machine. I'd be very happy just using this machine. So I'll talk a little bit about that as I go along, but you'll see as the runtime of this video goes, I messed around a little bit and tried some things that didn't work out, and I was being very lazy between sets. And that's what I like about this machine, is that you can kind of just take your time with these things. Pace, go at your own pace. That's what I like about this. So I think you'll see the clock behind me. It ends up ending around like 5 o'clock. So you could definitely speed through this. As all my workouts, I say you can kind of speed through it. You can take your time. The point is you just get the work in, get the tension going in your muscles. That's the most important thing, and just do it consistently. All right, so this first set is just all basically me just messing around. I would count this as a workout. You can count these as work sets. You'll notice I kind of gradually start increasing some things, but these are fairly, like, this is an easy kind of a row. So I will get in and jump in to say when I'm kind of counting my original kind of like work sets, if you want to say that. As always, the workouts are down below. The equipment links are down below as well. And pretty much, I wanted, again, just to showcase just using the total gym. And this turned into a little bit more work than I had planned. I wanted to make it just a very straightforward, maybe 3-4 exercises. It turned into more, and this is what I say usually always happens. It kind of can turn into a little bit more emphasis on the work. So right now I'm going to start I would say maybe the first start of maybe kind of true work set at this angle, but just a basic chest press. You'll see later on as these sets go along, my head gets kind of chopped off on these sets, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize the camera was chopping me off on this. But this exercise right here, just the perfect little, this is like really a bread and butter workout, really. And this is something you could stick to and repeat this many times, and you might think your body gets used to it, but every set is a little bit different in the way how many reps you do, what intensity or what high you're putting that thing at, what angle you're even pressing. I do change this. I'll do a different row in a second that is actually a different, more unique row that you guys have seen before, so kind of look forward to that. You'll see some different variations of that I don't think I've used this one variation either ever before. If I did, used it once. You'll see something coming up in a second with kind of like a modified like single arm lat pull down. But with those presses, kind of talking again about that, the pressing, you can try. You might not see it as much, especially if I don't get to it in the voiceover, but I'm pressing kind of straight here through the chest line. You can press at a higher angle, like pressing up more of like an incline. So this is what I mean when my head's kind of cut off. So, but you'll see that later. If you're going to press more at an incline, you'd have to scoot back more in the sled, like as you kind of see me do that. And again, I'm really sympathetic to the idea that not everybody can maybe get the ability to kind of sit and really bend at their knees like that if you're older. You could just sit a little higher and have your legs dangle off the machine. This is that lat pull down I was telling you about, and this can feel really easy. The important thing, and you don't know if you can really see me doing it, is I'm really focusing on that tension. So as I fully extend out, I'm kind of reaching and really thinking about my lats as what's kind of pulling me down. Otherwise, if you don't, it's really easy to use your arms and just cheat this exercise, cheat this movement. I think this is on one of the highest settings. I don't have the bungee cords attached to this. You can make this harder if you had even resistance bands and attach it. But you'll see in the next set after, I think it's the next one after this, or maybe two more sets. When I do that lat pull down, I eventually go to a single arm lat pull down where I kind of reach across with one arm and kind of just so I can focus a little bit more on my lats to make it harder. Now, if you're a beginner, that might be adequate enough. You don't need to go to this single arm. Let's see if I do it here. So yeah, now I'm doing it. So that idea popped in my head as I was doing that in the middle of that first set, this is what I want. It's great with this machine. Just use your own creativity. It's something you'll think about new things constantly. There's so many exercises that I've done that I haven't shown you guys. And maybe might not ever get around to showing you guys because there's so many little nuances you can do. But here's that single arm lat pull down. I like reaching from across the cable. This way it keeps the tension. I feel that tension more on the opposite lat that I'm pulling. So Again, pretty easy, and you see how seamless that was. I don't think I even edited, maybe I did, but pretty easy just to jump back and forth. And that's another thing, I don't think I say this enough, is that even the workouts that are short, maybe the little workouts are like 30 minutes, I think you get a little bit more work done with this machine, just how fast it is to kind of jump between exercises, versus if you were at a gym or if you're kind of using free weights, just interchanging the weights. I think sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And so my point is, it's more likely to kind of keep your body moving using this machine. So I think you kind of can see I'm starting to press a little bit more kind of higher up on the machine. But this is what I mean. I mean, this tension, I think I average like 10 repetitions on this. And, to go back to someone's questions, could you gain muscle mass just on this? I think you definitely can. Do I go to the gym once? I go to the gym now probably once every 2 weeks, and it's either chest, but usually it's for my legs, or just making sure I get some barbell squatting in, just because I just want to keep that up a little bit. I don't think you really need to. Just something, again, personally, all the years doing barbell training, I want to keep that staying fresh, and I like to kind of just still kind of keep my benching high. I'm more or less out of curiosity to see how my benches kind of keep up. But honestly, I can tell you from personal experience that for me doing my benching in the gym, I really don't lose that much. Yes, I've gotten a little weaker. Yes, I've gotten weaker in my squatting, but just because I haven't been doing that specific thing, I've gotten stronger in other elements. So, I can still handle, again, 315 for benching without regular bench pressing. And pretty much this, you're looking at it right here. This is where a lot of my upper body strength is getting worked, and as far as this kind of horizontal pushing, it's doing this total gym. You can see the dumbbells down below. I don't deny that I use dumbbells. I don't use dumbbells. I use dumbbells once in a while, but still, I'd say the majority of my work for sure is coming from this, and especially in the last 6 months, basically when 2020 hit, when that kind of lockdown started, I was pretty much been jumping to this machine. And it's actually harder. Like I said, I have access to the gym. I can go to the gym. I just don't feel like it's necessary. I feel like this is way more convenient. I get the workout done faster. I don't have to change into my gym clothes or whatever. And I feel like I get a better benefit, especially like I've said before, with pulling and rowing and with arms especially. I don't feel like you lose anything. I think the only things you kind of lose a little bit are some emphasis on the legs and a little bit on the chest, but shoulders, whether that's front shoulder, any isolated shoulder exercise, arms, I think I'd prefer this honestly than going to the gym. I've gone to the gym and I get a better kind of workout and tension on my arms than I do here versus the gym. Now here's something different I haven't done in a while. I said before in a video that I'm not a huge fan of flies. If you look at what I'm doing, the tension on these flies, it's almost like my arms are, it's like an opposite of a pullover. My arms are more kind of parallel to the ground. They're not flaring out too much, because I think given where the tension is, in order for me to kind of keep that tension in my chest, I basically kept the arms a little bit more further and back. And I believe it or not, I think it did feel pretty good. You notice how low I had to keep that. I think in the next set I even go lower than that. But that's another one. This is the first video in a while that actually is talking straight through, so I'll just keep going. But this one now, this next sequence, this is something that could be hard for some people, but this is another great one that I haven't done in a while. It's the same single arm row that I talk a lot about, combining the cables together, but now what I'm doing is I'm just standing up, so I'm just hitting a lower angle. So if you guys didn't have a pair of dumbbells and you can't do like bent over rows, as I said before, you can kneel and do this if you can't do it this way, and you can hit more your mid back. But this is just a little bit different angle. It's basically replicating, like I said, kind of like a bent over row type of thing where the tension's coming from down below. So that's why I'm kind of standing on here. As I've said many times, like some people have said this, I'm making this look easy when I'm standing on this. It is pretty easy. It just takes a little bit of practice to feel comfortable with, standing on the machine. Obviously different abilities and things like that. But if you couldn't do this, the variation would just be what I've done before, just sitting and kneeling on it and just doing the pullover. But I think when you combine those cables like that, it's an awesome way to kind of work the back. So that's what I mean. I think the back you can work so well with this, with just enough tension for anybody. And again, I'm kind of going back to this fly. So this was a new one as well. So I'll check back with you guys on a next sequence. But I think this is kind of nothing needs to be said with this one. All right, so now we're just wrapping this up with, again, finishing off single joint stuff with some arms. So I think the previous workout I actually posted, this was literally what I've been doing the last couple of days. You did miss the leg workout the other day, but basically this is just a different arm. Normally I did the inverted, now I just put it a little bit lower than normal, but I'm doing the kneeling kind of arm curl. Again, a good solid staple. You notice I'm kind of leaning my body down so my biceps are kind of running parallel with the way the cable is kind of facing. But another great one. I had this actually higher in the previous set, and it was just a little bit too much than I kind of wanted for a nice fluid tension, so I put it nice and low. So you're going to see me do this, and then I'm going to go into the line tricep extension that I did from, I think the previous video I showed you guys was one that a brand new one that I started doing that I really like a lot, is this line tricep extension. I think in the next set I do lower this, because I remember when I was doing this at the time, I felt like a little bit too much tension on my elbow, so I go a little bit lower, and notice I'm kind of cheating a little bit because it was so much tension on my elbow. I'm kind of doing a little, almost like a mini pullover with my lats and then going into that tricep extension, which is fine if you're going to do that, but I think that's why I was doing it, because I was getting a little too much tension on my elbow. So I was relieving some of that by giving myself a little cheating into that range of motion. But awesome exercise. Again, I think you really targets a different part of the tricep that I don't normally do as much. And then I just started throwing in just some extra push-ups on here. My back could be a little bit higher on this one. I think it's kind of arching a little bit, but they were already kind of fatigued a little bit, so you can see I don't get that many reps. I mean, granted, I'm kind of elevated on here, but just to kind of throw in some other toppers in there, I just do some elevated chest presses on that. And then basically I just repeat this sequence. I think I get roughly 3 or 4 sets, and I just repeat the same thing. So that was it with this sequence of workouts. This workout, again, if you guys like these videos, you want to see more, it's always helpful if you guys like and subscribe to the video and share this stuff. Basically, I just keep making, if I see that you guys are still watching these, I will keep making these workouts. So always helpful. And again, look for the playlist. Maybe the next workout I put, I'll kind of confirm if I put those playlists together. You guys will see that eventually. But since these things are kind of racking up, I'm kind of going to run out of titles for these. I might start numbering them, but I will basically put them all in one folder so you guys can kind of grab and choose them as you see fit. And again, any questions or comments, please let me know. And thanks again for watching.